Welcome to today's episode. We have a very exciting guest, Anastasia with Books at Ease. For those of you just joining the podcast, I'm Christian Gannon, the co-founder of E.N.G Media, and we specialize in helping software and tech companies scale their revenue. So if you want to stick around to learn more about how to take your software tech business to the next level, make sure to watch the whole thing. And so let's get right into it. So I understand that Books at Ease specializes in helping e-commerce owners, SaaS founders, creators, and small businesses owners streamline their bookkeeping operations. Your services ensure businesses maintain accurate financial records, stay compliant, and focus on growth without the hassle of managing their books. Could you share a little bit more about your business and your role within it?
Yes, absolutely. So thank you for having me today. It's an absolute pleasure sharing my journey with you and with your audience. And I really hope that what we are going to share today will be valuable for the people who are listening the podcast. Bookcities is a bookkeeping company that is opened 3 years ago, but that's some sort of my second company. We have opened with my husband as a partners, so we are both partners in life and partnered in business, which has a lot of challenges for sure. But to get back to your question, Bookset is a bookkeeping practice who is helping digital businesses like e-commerce, digital marketing, SaaS, to streamline their processes and most importantly, to understand their numbers. Our service is going beyond sending simple reports. We really do care about our customer businesses because as a business owner, we know how important it is, and especially if you're in the early stage of the business, it's really hard. So if you don't know your numbers, if you don't know where your business is heading to, you cannot lead it. So we're really, really proud of that during these years, we have managed to build a really successful processes that help business owners to run their businesses smoothly and to understand what they're doing.
Of course, that's awesome. And I think you made some key points in there. And I think a lot of small business owners might be a little bit confused or don't know the direction of how to maintain expenses. So I
Right.
think you're helping out a lot, especially in that area. So
Yes.
we have a couple market questions that we'll start out with. So from your perspective, what are some of the current trends you're seeing in the bookkeeping and even in the accounting space right now?
Yes, so bookkeeping is really now under the pressure of artificial intelligence, and I
Hmm.
will say that in a positive context because AI is now highly incorporated in every single process, which sometimes makes a confusion to the business owners that they don't need a bookkeeper. They need simply a tool that they will use it, and everything will be all right. But I want to say that no matter how technology is being developed, and it's really important to have it in place, human touch and people taking care about your business is really important. So now I will want to address that bookkeepers should focus more on advisory role and advisory services, not only simple transaction categorization, because that, yes, of course, tools can replace it, but to guide your customer to tell him the story behind the numbers that you're seeing is something that AI cannot do it at this point. So I think that that is the biggest challenge. Second challenge is the lack of quality people, quality and skilled professionals who are on the market. Because as we all know, the bookkeeping side is not regulated. So everybody could be a bookkeeper, everybody could take a course, let's say, and start doing bookkeeping, which is absolutely fine. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. But however, if you start doing that part, offering bookkeeping services, you need to make sure that you have education, you have a strong foundation before taking something and make a mess and mislead your clients. Because we are playing not only with numbers and money, we are playing with people's life. These are people's savings, these are people's dreams. So it's not simple like take the job and don't care about it. So yeah, I would say that.
That makes a lot of sense. And I think that's a huge point, especially in small businesses. And I know in America, if you have a sole prop, you're liable, right, for everything that
Right.
happens or any debt. And if you're not managing your books correctly, that could be a huge issue. And I would want to touch too on the AI part. I've been talking with a couple of people in my connections just about AI, and a lot of them are using the same way you just said. I can't do everything for me, but if it can increase the efficiencies within my business and take some
Right.
time out of the tasks that I need to do, then I can really step up in the 20% or that 15-20% that is really important and really give it all my attention. So they think that's a great point you made.
Yes,
And
yes, absolutely. Yeah, using the technology in the right way can really make your business stronger, but you should not rely only on technology, especially when it comes to finances and numbers.
right, 100%. And I think another part is I was actually talking with someone that does agent like AI.
Mm-hmm.
Jonas, my connection with Empower AI, he was talking that most of the AI right now is at like a 90-95% efficiency, right? It works 90-95% of the time, and that 5% manual work doesn't take a lot right now. But when business owners rely on it and big companies, that 5-10% of a customer or even you having a bad experience might be something where they go elsewhere, right? So I think it's a huge point that should be helpful to increase the smaller task
Yes,
and those automations that we need. But the bigger things that you really drive in the business should be have that human touch, as you said.
absolutely. Yes.
And so I can see how those challenges kind of go out in the bookkeeping space. What are some easier things that are trending in the market? Like what's making your job easier, I guess, aside from AI, to really perform for your customers?
Well, I would say again, technology, because as you said, most of the tools that are currently available on the market, there are a lot of them, and they're some of them are more expensive, so some of them are cheaper. But however, using them right now, it's really saving time. So, for example, in the past, if you spent, I don't know, 30 minutes to write an email to make it proper, now with the tools, you can do it for 5 minutes. And of course, to make some processes faster, to automate, let's say, filling Google Sheets, tables, getting codes, and everything that you had to do it manually and spend a lot of time in the past, now you're doing much more quicker, and you can focus on more important things, talking to the people, listening what they need, what are their problems, because in the past, to be honest, we were more stuck in manual things. We were doing a lot of manual work. Now with
Of
the
course.
technology in place, everything is much more easier.
That's awesome. And with that in mind, what, in your opinion, kind of, I know you touched on it a little bit, but what does the current competitive landscape kind of look like for books at ease right now? Are your competitors doing the same thing you are, or how are you differentiating yourself in the market? Other than, I guess, I know your expertise is far outweighs some of the other bookkeepers we were talking about earlier, and I looked at your LinkedIn. It's hugely financial and really backed, and you've worked at a lot of companies. So I'd like to hear what you guys are doing, I guess.
Yes, so beside the education, I have educational background because I had financial management and also MBA. And but that's one thing. I'm working more than 17 years in the finance world. So the practice and the situations and everything that I have faced with all these years
Hmm.
cannot be replaced within 3 months, 6 months, or a year. That's one thing. Second thing is that we are paying a lot of attention to the education and training of our employees. We have built academy for bookkeepers because we have saw the potential in the market and the lack of expertise, and that's why we've decided to build our in-house bookkeeping academy, where we are going to train all the people who will enter, no matter as our employees, or maybe they will be used as a contractors in the future, or they want simply to work as a freelancers outside of our company. We're really putting a really big effort in building educational programs, training programs that will help bookkeepers to step up on the market quickly and provide quality services, which is really important. And the last thing is our customer-centered approach. And I know that most of the people are saying, yes, we do care about our customers and we're customer-oriented. Yes, we are as well, and we're spending each and every month a time to just a chat. We're not talking about numbers. We want to understand what are your goals as a business owner. What are your plans? Are you struggling with something? Something that we can help us to build together with you as an owner your future story. So that's how we are different. And I know that there are a lot of good bookkeepers and finance professionals as us on the market, but again, I'm really proud about what we have built so far during these years.
Of course, and I think to touch on that human touch and that really that relationship with your customers is a huge point, not only just in the bookkeeping space, but also in other networks, right? If you're having a
Yes,
service where you have customers that rely on you and you rely on them to really run both of your businesses, I think it's important to have a strong relationship aside from the numbers, right? A personal relationship. And I think that's huge, and I'm glad you touched on that.
yes.
So, shifting a little bit, can you tell me what you're directly responsible for within Books at Ease and how your day typically unfolds on a day-to-day basis?
Oh, yes. I'm responsible more for the operational part. I'm COO in the company and also a co-founder. So my job is first to make my clients happy when it comes to their business. As I said, I'm responsible for making the processes, streamlining the operations, talking to my clients, mentoring and training the team, um, presenting our company like this, as I'm doing this now on this podcast. So my schedule is really tight, to be honest. What my business day look like. So I'm getting up early in the morning around 7 a.m., having quick breakfast and then checking my emails, making the plan agenda for today, checking my calendar and setting the priorities, then going to the gym, making some break and then get back to work again. So really hectic, really dynamic, but I really love my job and what I'm doing. So I'm not complaining. I'm just happy what I'm doing at the moment.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I think that sounds like a great day. And I think for a lot of small business owners that are watching right now too, I think that's kind of what their day looks like, right? Too, is waking
Yes.
up early, making sure they're eating, and then making sure they're going to the gym because I think all of us have realized that's a huge part of keeping mental clarity right throughout the day and making sure that you're dialed in, I guess.
Yes, I get it's physical health is really important because with this stressful life and a lot of responsibilities and the pressure that as a business owner you're taking on your shoulders, it's really important to keep you in a good physical, to be fit, let's say.
Right.
But also, what I'm doing is I'm doing meditations
Okay.
because I want to calm my mind because it's really buzzing
Right.
sometimes and I need to keep the focus. So yeah, I'm doing that as well. Uh, in the free time, going in nature, listening to music, relaxing because we're all human beings and we want to do something outside of the work. So not only work, work, work.
100%. And I think that's a huge point you just made. I think that in the modern era, at least from what I see it's push the work, push the work, push the work. But what's the outcome? What are we looking forward to at the end of the day, right? And it's those times in nature for you. And I agree with you. I'm a nature guy too. I like going on hikes. I like going to the lake and doing things like that. And I think that's a huge point of keeping not only your focus on work, but also focusing, okay, what am I doing this for, right? What's my why? And I think that's a huge point. Um, so moving
Yes,
on
yes.
to our next question a little bit, what key metrics matter most to your business right now? Is it revenue growth, client retention, expense management? What does that kind of look like for you guys?
For us at the moment, we are in the phase of growing the business. So, client retention, of course, but we also measure the revenue growth
Hmm.
because, as I said, we are 3 years on the market with the book series. So with the other company, we are more than 7 years, which we have experience to use it from the first company. But yes, revenue growth. We're also optimizing the costs. So operational ratios are really important for us at the moment. Um, Customer acquisition costs are really important because yes, having the sales process in place. I mean, now we are building the sales. We really need to know how much we spend on each campaign. What are our most profitable again campaigns? How much we get from that? So yeah, profitability, revenue growth. Client retention and customer acquisition cost if I need to mention them.
And that's awesome. I think those are super important metrics. And you mentioned customer acquisition and growth is some of the big points for you right now. I know that I see you and Tony both post on LinkedIn religiously. I see it almost every day or every other day, and I think that's awesome. I think that's a great way to brand yourself, right? And I think that's an important thing
Yes.
for small businesses to realize as well. But is there any other avenues that you're using? I know you mentioned ad campaigns and things like that.
Yes, we're doing ad campaigns. We're, yes, constantly posting on LinkedIn. I'm recording videos almost every single day, but I'm posting it every second day because I know now how important it is to be present on the on the social media. And to be honest, my personality is I'm more introvert
Of course.
in my personal life. But and I'm saying this because some of the audience will listen to this, and some of the people have fear to record themselves, to present themselves, and I know it can be scary at the first point. But you need to try it. You need to do it constantly, and to no matter if your first video sucks, okay, so what? I mean, everybody started at some point. With practice, you will get better and better. But it's important to be there, people to see you, and not only to see you for sure, but to share expertise, to share your what you're doing, how you're helping, what are your problems as a person. I mean, during your business journey and so on. And yeah, we're doing everything that each business is doing, but and we're trying to do that really focused and constantly to get results.
Of course, and I did want to touch on an important point you made. You said that you're more of an introverted person, but realized in the market in a digital age, you really have to put yourself out there. And I'm there with you. I Running a podcast at first was really scary for me. It was a new thing. I had never done it before, but I knew to grow our brand and to grow our relationships with our clients so we could gain expertise, it would be a crucial part, right? And posting on LinkedIn, like you said, making short form content like videos and really developing a relationship with people that people can come back and look at and see, oh, they have expertise here, they've shared it here, they know what they're talking about, and they've showed that. And I think that's a huge point, not just for extroverts or introverts, but for everyone, right? Everyone that's running a business or
Yes.
trying to promote something has to somewhat develop a personal brand online to really be successful in the market right now, I would say.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I've mentioned the introverts because I know that people from, let's say, my industry, from accountants,
Hmm.
are more of them are introverts, and they're really great professionals. But when it's coming to showing themselves in public or speaking publicly, it's a great fear. And I've read that fear of public speaking is similar to fear of death. So that's really psychological state of mind that should be overcome. But again, do it, try it, and every single time you will be better and better.
Right. And I think a phrase that really stuck with me for one of my mentors was be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I think that's the perfect explanation
Yes,
for this for a lot of people is you just have to get comfortable with it until, or uncomfortable at first until you're comfortable with it. And over time, I think that fear dwindles, and I think we both could say that now I feel like I'm in a much better spot to talk on a podcast than I was at first, right? And probably you with the short form content, you probably feel a lot more confident making those videos now than you did a year ago, right? So I think that's an important
Yes,
point to make too.
absolutely. And if you're feeling comfortable all the time, you cannot grow. So
Right.
there is no growth with a comfort. You need to step up from the comfort zone in order to grow. So yes.
Of course. And shifting a little bit for Books at Ease, what are the goals for the next 12 months?
Well, yes, as I said previously, the goals is to increase our client portfolio, to increase the revenue, to optimize our costs because it's really important for us now we are in that growth phase to really know what we are earning, where we are going. So yes, increase our client portfolio, optimize the costs, lower the customer acquisition cost, which I mentioned previously. So yeah, that would be the plan for this year.
Of course. And just to touch back, I know that you said you had made the education part, right, for your employees and possibly for outsourcing. Is that something that is in that next 12-month kind of horizon to maybe expand on that too, as maybe a revenue growth opportunity as well?
Yes, yes, absolutely. So, beside the academy that we have built off, I'm building now online courses, which will see the light of the day for 1 month, I think, from now.
Awesome.
Those are, yes, those are three types of courses: basic courses for the beginners who are starting just right now in the profession and need the basics, and more advanced courses for people who are already in the industry and want to upgrade their knowledge. So yes, setting those digital products and selling them on the market is one more way to generate revenue. So I really hope that it will be successful.
Of course, and I think that's awesome. I think that's an awesome way to kind of add another revenue source, especially one that is, in my mind, is a little bit low operational, right? Like it's not taking a lot of time spent out of the business. One initially, right, developing it and making sure that it's clean and maybe some customer support after the fact. But I think that's a huge point, and I think honestly a lot more businesses should be doing that that have the expertise like you do, right? If I have 20 more years in something and I know what I'm talking about, maybe I should be the one informing and educating the next generation of businesses on how to really do it right, right? So,
Yes, yes, that's really important because at some point of your career, you have saw everything. You've seen a lot of let's say situations, and now it's time to get back to the people.
hmm
And I'm doing this not only for profit purposes, of course, the courses will be sold, but also what I'm doing is sometimes I'm mentoring people pro bono. So I really want to give back to the community, to share my knowledge because I love what I'm doing and I want to share what I know with other people. Because back
hmm
then, when I was starting my career, there was no resources. Everything you need to do was reading a lot, going on your own. Now it's much more easier. So for everyone who want to learn, want to get information, there are a lot of resources out there that can be used.
Right. And I think you just mentioned something that was important to me too, is the passion behind it, right? It's not just I'm in bookkeeping for the money or I'm in this space for the money. It's I'm here because I enjoy it and I like what I do, right? And I want to help
Yes,
shape the industry for future generations, right? So that they enjoy what they do and they understand what's going on and it's not this confused approach and people back out quick, right? I think with a lot of tough things, like in my mind, bookkeeping is tough. I don't think I could pick
yes.
it up in 5 minutes, right? I think that's something that's tough. But if you can help people and make it interesting and keep them engaged, I think that's a huge point in not only giving back, but also expanding the industry and making sure that it's healthy for years to come, right? So,
Yes, yes, absolutely.
and then I have one last question, and it's kind of a fun one. It might be a little tough. Hypothetically, if you had a magic wand and could solve just one problem within your business, what would that be?
Oh, to generate revenue without my involvement each and every day.
Fair enough.
So yes, I would love to get to that point where, of course, I will be working, but I will be working more. What I said, more what I love to do. This is what I love to do, of course, but I really want to focus moving forward on educational part, and that's one of my passions that I want to explore further. So yes, if I have a magic, I would love to do that.
That's awesome. I think that's a great answer. And I think a lot of people would agree with you when I've asked that question previously too, is just if I could have all the revenue so I could really focus on the ops and really focus on making the product like as best as it
Yes.
could, right? Then that would just solve all my problems, right? Um,
Yes.
but Anastasia, if people want to connect with you or learn more about what Books at Ease is doing, where can they go and how can they connect?
Yes, they can visit our website, www.booksatease.com, or visit my LinkedIn profile, Anastasia Ristovska. It's really easy to find me. So everybody who wants to get in touch with me, send me a message, request. I would love to connect. I really love to connect with people and help them no matter what kind of help they need in terms of the business. So yeah.
Perfect. I will leave Anna's links in the description. I'll put the LinkedIn if she's okay with that, as well as the website.
Yes.
And I highly recommend you check out Books at Ease. I looked at the website. I think it's really informative. Even for someone that's outside of the bookkeeping space, it's nice to understand some of the things at a surface level, at least for me. But other than that, thank you, Anastasia, for your time today and your insights. And we will see you guys on the next podcast.